I open up Hinge. I'm already down bad if I'm there. I go to my likes. 173. How many matches? 2 of them. 2 out of 173 that I matched. I'm already down bad. Okay. One of the 2 guys, cute. Oh, tall. North Dakota. I like a Midwestern boy. He hits me with a okay emoji. Already a red flag, but like when you're at 2 out of 100.
An okay emoji is already a red flag. Is anything a green flag these days?
172. I'm like, maybe he's nice. So I match with him. I do. I match with him. And he has a, like, 2 truths and a lie on his profile. And so I answer it. And I'm like, hey, everyone.
God, she is so insufferable. Imagine trying to go on a freaking lunch date with her. I'd be like, hey, pass me the 9mm, please.
From North Dakota's from a farm. He responds, he goes, yeah, I like your profile. You're from Florida. I like that too. Okay. I was like, okay, and I'm a little show dog, for you. Yeah, you like that? You like, what are you saying? Okay, I like that. I like that you're from Florida. I like that. Brother, I literally just answered your prompt on your profile, and you're not gonna, like, what do you want me to say to that? Like,
this is the biggest problem, and we talk about this all the time, chat. When expectations are set and then they don't get met, people get upset. These women build up this fantasy land world in their head of what a man is supposed to do when he interacts with her digitally on the interwebs. And she thinks he's supposed to pull out all the stops, be a comedian, be a corn star in the sheets, be a Chad. Like, they want everything. They want absolutely everything. Dude, he's a regular dude from North Dakota. I don't know about you guys, but when I hear North Dakota, I don't think very, like, colorful and, like, flagrant personalities. You know, I'm thinking of people that are just like, hey, you know, I live in North Dakota. It's pretty chill out here. You know, maybe somebody that lives in Austin. I think much differently about somebody that lives in Austin or a big city or like Houston versus North Dakota. You get what you get. Maybe he's just a regular everyday guy. Give him a shot. Maybe have a phone conversation with him. But the problem with the dating apps is that people write each other off so quickly. And like they're just waiting for the red flags. Like they're not really giving anybody a chance here. And it just shows how shallow men and women are, really.
Thank God. Oh my God. You literally just made my day by telling me that you approved of my profile. No shit you did, because you liked me. I can't do it. I can't. So I closed the Hinge app. And that was it.
That right there is the...
Yeah, she needs therapy.
Flawless victory.
I don't know why these women are even in the dating market. You're not emotionally stable enough. She seems unhinged. Couldn't imagine going out on a date with her and something goes wrong. Good Lord have mercy.
You can't claim to be a feminist and then expect a man to financially support you.
Oh, baby girl, I love that. I like this chick.
Those are patriarchal gender roles.
Here's why I think coffee dates work against you. As a
Okay, here we go.
man, okay? Hear me out. Now, I'm talking about my demographic. As you get older, maybe this is different. However, oftentimes attraction isn't there from the very beginning. And what's very important is for you to set the scene, okay? And what happens with coffee is, in my opinion anyway, I think coffee is like...
You think that's kind of the problem. Shots fired! You're doing a lot of thinking.
Interview. Coffee is something that my 90-year-old grandmother would maybe go do. If you're going to do something like this, I highly suggest doing drinks, because drinks are fun. You go in the evening, there's some nice ambiance, you can get some cute cocktails, you're setting the scene. A sexy scene, if you will. Coffee?
What do you mean a sexy scene?
She's a runner, she's a track star.
Not sexy. Not at all. So, I just think this doesn't work in your favor at all. It's a date that you can literally do with your coworkers or with your dog. I just think it doesn't work in your favor.
Ironically, this video explains why coffee dates are absolutely amazing. When you are prioritizing fun and setting the scene on the first date, you're not actually getting to know the person. If you're serious about dating, it's actually kind of like an interview. I mean, the entire point of the date, if you're serious about it, is to get to know the person and see if they're compatible for you.
No, I agree. If she's shallow enough to say, "No, we should be at the bar," I'd be like, "Cool, you can just stay in the street.
She's a runner, she's a track star.
You can stay out there, baby girl, because if that's what you want, cool, go for it." The coffee date really exposes women that have bad personalities. It really does. Like, if you can't handle a coffee date, how am I supposed to handle? Are we just going to be at the bar all the time? Are we going to be having to have a sexy scene all the time? That screams high maintenance to men. Chat, put a 1 in the chat if you agree. If a woman can't go on a coffee date and she wants to be craft cocktailing it at a sexy scene with the ambiance, that tells me that you're high maintenance, and I don't want nothing to do with it. I had a buddy that was dating on the dating apps, and he was having a lot of issues. He's like, man, I'm matching with all these girls, but like we go out on one date, and then after that, it's like nothing. I was like, okay, well, let me see the girls you're matching with. And he's matching with girls that are like on boats and yachts, on high-rise, you know, at these rooftop bars. I'm like, bro, you don't have rooftop yacht boat money. So you're taking these girls out on a date, and they're already sniffing you out because you're not willing to drop big bags. These girls are gold diggers. Bro, you need to shoot a little bit lower. Go for the girls that are like in the park. Shoot at your pay grade. Go for the girls that are walking their dog. They're out maybe at a coffee shop. They like doing outdoorsy stuff. That's the stuff that you like. Stop going for the girls that are super flashy on a boat. Because for me, when I was on the dating apps years ago, if I saw a girl on a boat, at a rooftop bar, in a helicopter, on PJs, I already said nah.
How about no?
I can't afford you, baby girl. You out my budget. The budget is not set for PJs. We're not PJing it around here. You know what I'm saying? We're doing my little Honda Civic. That's what we're doing, okay?
Meeting on a dating app or social media or any place other than in person, do you have a vetting process before you go on a date? Like, do you do a call, voice messages, a FaceTime? What steps do you?
What I would always say is, if you are, this is actually a valid question for people that are, you know, dating casually, always do a FaceTime call. Everybody's got an iPhone, and if you don't, you got an Android. You can always at least video call somebody. Always video call pretty quickly. You know, maybe text back and forth. If the texting's going well on the dating app, get their number or get their social media so you can have direct access to them. And then what I would do, and what I did with Cass, is once I actually met her in person, I got her number and stuff, we would go text back and forth, but I would just randomly FaceTime her. And the good thing about randomly FaceTiming a chick is it puts her on her heels and it puts you on full attack. You're ready. You're like, I'm calling you because I'm ready. Have your wit on point, have subjects to talk about on point, you know, be high energy, talk to them, make them laugh. And that's really what won Cass over is, you know, the FaceTime calls, because it was almost like a face-to-face. Because the thing is, dude, in my opinion, in chat, put a 1 in the chat if you agree. As a guy who's casually dating, I'm not trying to take every single girl out on multiple dates. Brother, man. You're wearing my pocketbook too thin. I don't have enough coin to be courting all you know, harlots. I don't have the coinage to be spending all my spoils on girls that I don't even know if there's actually real potential with. So I would just FaceTime, text. Another big tip of the game is give every girl a nickname. Give every girl a nickname. That way she remembers you. And if the next guy tries to give her a nickname, she'll be like, well, that was my last nickname with this guy. Like, always give a girl a nickname if you can. If there's something you can to give her a nickname, give her a nickname. Make it organic. Don't make it forced. But nicknames are great because it's a name only you call her that. And then, dude, nicknames I've been doing that since freaking high school. You always call them a nickname, give them a little, you know, something that only you call them, and they grab onto that. And they're like, I thought you said I was your little, you know, your little gumdrop. I'm like, well, you are, baby. You know, you're my gumdrop, baby. You know, it's only you, okay? And then you call the last 10 girls your gumdrop. You know what I mean? I'm not saying do that, but you smell what I'm stepping in, chat. I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. It was good to have you guys out, man. Until next time. Peace.